Back to Kevin Herter.
I like turtles.
Trey just starts walking. He knows what it is. It's red velvet, Steve.
Sure is.
He's a shooter. Hawks down 3. Danilo Gallinari ties it up at 66. Then Young, John Collins, 22 points in the game. Hawks had a lead heading into the 4th. In the 4th, LeBron James. James step back. Hits the 3. LeBron, I don't know what he accomplished there. A little sorcery. Kyle Kuzma, corner 3, leads now 8. Look out.
There he is. AC Fresh 21.
He got some bounce. Alex Caruso, part of an 11-0 run, and it's a 10-point lead. All right, Hawks trying to inbound, and what do we have here? Oh, we got some folks in the front row getting a little extra. LeBron's talking, and we know who you are. We've seen the Snapchats. Watch your mouth. Dude kicked out. Anyway, back to the game. Down low. Clint Capella. 16 assists for Young. Then Young, the deep 3. He had 25. But LeBron James hits another 3. Lakers lead by 4. Atlanta trying to stick around. Defense turns to offense. Woo! Outlet. James gets the bucket there. Finished with 21, 9, and 7. Afterwards, James on that little dust stuff there.
First, basketball-wise, I wanted to ask you about that group, the kind of new group, you and the rest of the bench guys with THT and Caruso. It was an 8-0 run in the 4th quarter to start against Boston. Tonight it was 11-0, 16-0 if you include the 3rd. What's going on with that unit, and why were you guys having success?
We just play extremely hard. We cover for one another, and we run. Myself, THT, Caruso, Kuz, and Trez. We got a lot of energy, a lot of speed, and we just play a lot of unselfish basketball. That's our whole team, but that group in particular.
And so you've got the Built by Black History shirt on. Obviously, Black History Month. You're there in Atlanta. I just wondered, LeBron, could you summarize this whole year, going back to George Floyd, the tragedy, everything that you went through, and now this Black History Month, what it means for you and just kind of for everybody?
To keep it all real with you, Mike, Black History Month is every month. They just happen to give us the shortest month of the year, but Black History Month is all 12 months for me. We celebrate Black excellence every single day of the year, 365 days, and go around my household and around the group of people I'm around. So, I love the fact that we get to celebrate it for a full month, and people, that may not know about it kind of come together and things. But at the end of the day, I celebrate Black excellence every single day. And Black History Month, I would say, is Black History Day. 365 days of the year, 66 on the leap year. So that's just how we rock around here. And but it's cool to get it started now, and we'll just keep it going throughout the rest of the year and January of 22.
Are you feeling any more recognition of everything you just talked about this year?
I don't live my life trying to gain recognition for anything. You do what's right, you call out what's wrong, and you go from there.
LeBron, I wanted to get your take or your comment or your perspective on the interaction that occurred with the courtside fans who were kicked out, and did you feel like that interaction exposed any sort of loophole in the COVID protocol if fans can take off their masks to yell at a player?
No, at the end of the day, I'm happy fans are back in the building. I miss that interaction. I need that interaction. We as players need that interaction. I don't feel like it was warranted to be kicked out. There was a back and forth between two grown men, and which we said our piece. He said his piece. I said my piece, and then when someone else jumped into it and said their piece. But I didn't think they were, should have been kicked out. But they might have had a couple of drinks maybe, and they could have probably kept it going, and the game wouldn't have been about the game no more. So I think the referees did what they had to do. And it's fine. I don't think taking down the mask or whatever the case may be at that point in time, would have harmed anybody but the people that was right next to her. I wasn't close enough to her. I don't think any of my teammates was close enough to them. Maybe a couple of the refs, maybe. So I hope they're okay. But safety first.
Dan?
LeBron.
And you look like you're about to ask me. You like you're ready to fire off.
Well, it strikes me. It's as somebody you've said all year, like I want fans. I want to see fans. Does that get you more excited than when you see some people who are, like you said, a little willing to kind of tone those waters, whether it was in Cleveland or here, just seeing those faces that close to you?
Well, I mean, my guy tonight, he looked, I don't want to say he went overboard, but he went a little bit out of bounds, too close to comfort for me. And I said my piece, and we could have moved on. But I think it was so close to the officials. I think the official heard it as well, what he had said. And it kind of got blown out of proportion. It's just like sometimes on the floor when two guys get into a scuffle, or get into a little like jostling and the refs come and try to break it up. That's what it pretty much was tonight. But the difference, we're on the court and we're not having any alcoholic beverages. So they might have had some alcoholic beverages on the side. So that it made them feel a little tougher than what they really are, I would say.
But to be clear, you were happy. You were happy that this happened, though, right? Like you enjoyed this.
Who, me?
Yes.
I love our fans. Laker Nation and everybody else that's against Laker Nation. It just feels better. Fans in the stands it's just better. It's better for everybody. Especially on the last game of a 14-day road trip.
Kyle? Hey, LeBron, I'm gonna have to have an alcoholic beverage after this.
Me too. You ain't the only one.
But to ask a basketball question here, you guys, the last two games have had come down pretty close. You guys make these defensive plays. How much pride do you take in sort of reinforcing the defensive identity you guys had last year in these close situations?
No, I take all the pride. Listen, man, I take just as much pride on the defensive end than I do on the offensive end. Things that you cannot control on the offensive end if you shoot the ball well. Sometimes the ball don't go in for you. You have your mechanics perfect. You swing ball. You're being unselfish, and sometimes the ball just don't go in for you. But the one thing you can't control is how you defend. You don't have to worry about the ball going in when you're defending. You have to stop the ball from going in. So being able to get your hand on passes, deflections, things of that nature. Tonight, a big play, me just being able to get my hand on Capella on that slip to the rim and us being able to get out in transition. Dennis and AC hustling back and being able to get that steal too on Trey late in the game, and then us, sealing it with free throws. So, I take that responsibility. AD takes it, me being able to work out commands and things of that nature. When we defend, we're just that much better, and we want to be the best defensive team in the league, and we hold that with the utmost responsibility.
You got time for one more, Bill?
Hey, LeBron. Before the game, Frank said it's been kind of a blend of diligence and luck that has kept you guys from having any games postponed. I mean, obviously, a lot of teams around the league have had multiple games postponed. I'm curious, is there any, in a macro sense for the season and what you guys are trying to accomplish this season, what do you see as any advantage in just getting your games played on schedule?
Well, yeah, I want to say, first of all, we've been trying to be extremely responsible. The whole Lakers organization. We haven't had anyone that had to miss days or whatever the case may be since we started. We're doing our testing. Guys are staying, for the majority, staying in their rooms and staying, social distancing and things of that nature. We're just trying to do everything that the protocol is telling us we can or cannot do, and just trying to follow that to a T. There's some things you can't control. We don't know if this virus is airborne or if it's passed through, person to person. So what we can't control is just trying to stay responsible, do the things that we can do and things of that nature. And then, and it's allowed us to be full, for our games, like I said, and go out there. And because of, the strict protocols and stuff, you don't really have much time to practice, especially on the road. A lot of gyms aren't open. A lot of arenas are not open unless it's a game. You can't really prepare things on the floor, so you got to do it in film sessions and things of that nature. So to have our full group, like I said before, we've use a lot of our games as extensive practices to continue to work our habits, continue to work our strategic plan on how we can get better and better as the months go on. So through luck, yes, but also through being responsible as well has allowed us to be whole pretty much throughout the season so far.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Most consecutive games with 15, 5, and 5. LeBron James. He's going after LeBron James, Rob.
This a little bit in the walk-off, but I was wondering if maybe you could go a little more on Rondo and what it was like to face him as an opponent. I guess there was a play that you guys ran specifically to trip him up.
No, I mean, it wasn't specifically to trick him up. I think we just, called a play. I think it was after a timeout, ATL play. And, that was here last year. So he knows all of our plays and know our system and everything like that. And he's very good at scouting the other team plays and players and things like that. So, we ran a play and put him in some action. And then we ended up getting a dunk off of it. A foul. And I told him, I was yelling at off the free throw line while I was on the bench, but I was yelling to him and told him, "You haven't seen that one." I said, "That's something new. You haven't seen that one." He started laughing. We were laughing. So that was a cool moment.
Yeah.
AD, you guys have had really, really successful runs at the start of fourth quarter from that group with LeBron, Trez, Caruso, Harrell. I'm sorry, THT. You know which lineup I'm talking about. Whatever. It's a lot of guys. I don't want to read all the names. Why do you think that group's working so well? What have you seen on the bench in those stretches from that five?
The group plays hard. They're scrappy defensively. Everyone does their jobs. And then the start of the fourth, we always got the bench saying, okay, fourth quarter is winning time when it's close games or, we might be down or anything like that. And then group come in and make great plays to start the fourth for us to get us going. And I think tonight we went on an 11-0 run or something like that to start the fourth. We was able to get the lead and kind of maintain that. So that group is a special group. And, it's our job to, come in when that group does its job to finish it off for them and secure the victory. So, that lineup with, like you said, Taylor, Bron, Trez, AC, and sometimes Kuz might be in there. To start that fourth quarter has been a great lineup for us so far this year.
Dave?
Eddie, LeBron said he loves having fans at the games, but I guess having fans at the game could lead to something like that happen in the fourth quarter there. What's your take on it? Is it worth the risk of having stuff like that while the COVID protocol is going on to have fans in the stands? And did you have any thoughts on that brief altercation?
Yeah, one more incident is not going to change the fact that, we love having fans at the game. Whether we're home or away, it just brings back, the game that we love, that joy from the fans and the support and things like that. So it's always fun to, whether it's 500 people or 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is, it's always enjoyable to play in front of, a crowd. About what happened, I don't even think I was in the game yet. I just saw Bron talking, to somebody courtside, and they were talking back. So I'm not sure what exactly happened at the time. And when I walked over there, the referees was already, kind of separating and taking care of it. So I'm not sure what she said or what he said or anything like that. But I know they were talking about, her mask was off to speak or something like that. Which with COVID going on, we obviously can't have that. We want to make sure we always be safe. So it was a crazy little thing, but
We'll take a couple more. Ben Steiner.
Hey, Anthony, congrats on the win. Trae Young, you've gone up for years now. What have you liked about the growth of his game?
He's a crafty player. He's very good at drawing fouls, can shoot the basketball with range. Great free throw shooter. He got a nice floater, getting the paint. So he's tough to guard, and he's small. So he's always, getting around, defenders or, getting in the middle of defenses and picking guys off. But he's a special player in this league. And, he's been doing it for a couple of years now.
Real Thomas.
AD, congrats on the win this evening. You guys, of course, are coming off of a long road trip. A lot of new pieces as you look to try to repeat this season. So some of your teammates are still getting acclimated. What do you feel like you learned most about your team during this road trip?
We're a team that's going to fight. We're a resilient team. Being down in Philly, coming back, fighting. We're going to get every team's best shot. And so I think we show our resiliency this trip, and we also show how together we are. While we're still learning each other, not having a lot of practice time, short off season, short in training camp, we're still trying to figure each other out and figure out how to continue to grow as a team, while also saving our legs and things like that. But I think we showed that we're a complete team. We showed that we're very together on the floor, and we showed our resiliency. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to battle, and we're still learning on the fly while we're getting wins, which is a good thing.
Thank you.
Last question, Tony DeVille.
Hey, AD. You play with Rondo, in New Orleans and here in LA, and you know how he is. Everyone knows he has a reputation of being a player's coach, a coach on the floor. Not sure how much longer he's going to play, but can you see him being a head coach after he's done, playing and being a coach going forward?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always his dream is to be a coach. At the NBA Top 100 camp, he coaches. He's a coach on the floor, even when he's not playing. He's coaching. Last year it was, practice, he was coaching. During the game, he's coaching on the floor. He's coaching. He's always learning. He's watching film. So I could definitely see him being the head coach. I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to coach, and he'll make one hell of a coach. He knows the game very well. His IQ is unbelievable, very high. And he gets along with a lot of players. He knows how to talk to players, and he knows who he can be more aggressive with, who he has to, kind of just take it easy on, just kind of, tell him things. But I think he's going to be a great coach in this league if that's what he, end up doing, which I think he will.
Thank you.
Thanks, AD. We're good there.
Thank you.
It's over. The longest road trip the NBA.
LeBron is now an MVP favorite in some sports books. LeBron has played every single game, averaging 25.2, 7.9 rebounds, and 7.4 assists. Big Perk joining the show. And Perk, I actually want to start with you on this one for a change. Tell me this, how should we feel about LeBron being pegged as the MVP favorite?
I mean, it's appropriate. Just look at what he's doing. Forget the fact, Molly, that, it was a short turnaround for us, the offseason, that he played and won a championship, didn't have time to give his body rest, and haven't took a single game off at the age of 36 years old in year 18 with a million minutes on his body. Forget all that. The fact of the matter is, and no disrespect to Joel Embiid, because he's playing at level. No disrespect to Big Joker, Big Jokic down there in Denver, because he's playing at the MVP level. No disrespect to Luka and Paul George and Kevin Durant. But right now, what happened was we got caught up as being prisoners of the moment, including myself. And guess what? We could thank Jason Hillman in the front office of the Cleveland Cavaliers for waking us up again, because he poked the bear the other night, and LeBron James had to give us a friendly reminder of who the hell he was and what type of season he's having. Here it is, this man is averaging 25 points a game, almost 8 rebounds, almost 7.5 assists. And guess what? They have the best record in the NBA, the number one defense in the NBA. And by the way, guess who's the number one defender in guarding their opponent? LeBron James. So he's delivering on both sides of the floor. And Molly, Steven, Max, this is what I was saying last year when we was debating about him and Giannis. We get caught up, especially you, Max, we get caught up in those analytics. We get caught up in PR and all that stuff that don't even matter. And we determine who our MVP is instead of sitting in front of the television, keeping a cool booty, and watching the game with our eyes and watching who has the effect on the game. And looking at what I saw the other night and what he did against the Cleveland Cavaliers, this goes to show me the separation between him and a guy like Giannis. While Giannis is standing in the corner in the fourth quarter, watching Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday take over the game when it's a possession by possession. LeBron James is saying things like, get the hell out the way and let me go for 21 in the fourth and carry us to victory. So with that being said, let me apologize to LeBron James for not even recognizing him and taking him for granted like we have done over the past 2 decades when he should have been winning MVPs multiple years. But at the end of the day, he should be a favorite in a lot of people's eyes because what he's doing right now for the Los Angeles Lakers is phenomenal.
Well, he's among the favorites. I wouldn't say that I'd make him my MVP right now, but understand, I'm the dude saying MVP shouldn't even be given out until the end of the entire season, not just the regular season. Because what we've seen from LeBron in the regular season is he fits in among the top players in the league. Then when the games are most important, we separate everybody and we see what's what. And LeBron is the last man left standing. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about favorite for regular season MVP. And Perk, everything you said about LeBron is true, and he's great too. Of course, he's coming off a 46-point game, 21 in the second half. Joel Embiid hasn't played last couple games, so it's 18 games for LeBron, best record in the league. 14 games for Embiid, best record in the conference. But I still say Embiid is the MVP so far in this regular season. Now, Embiid, not only you talk about PER and all that stuff, he's leading the league, Perk. Embiid has those numbers, and all PER is you're taking all the stats people like to cite and you're putting them all together. Embiid is up ahead. Well, I mean, you'll say when you say he scored 46 points, when you use PER, it's just another better stat than he scored 46 points. But that's not the point. You eyeball it and see Embiid's been a monster. On defense, I think Embiid's probably been the best defensive player in the league this year. And while what LeBron's doing is more impressive because of his age, right? But we're not talking about his entire career. We're talking about right now. Look at what Embiid is, what he's done, and now take him off the team, right? Those games he missed doesn't affect their record in the conference. They're still leading the conference. But when he doesn't play, they're losing to the worst team in basketball by a lot. They're getting blown out by bad teams without Embiid. And to top it all off, guys, when you talk about impressive, Embiid is doing this in an era where it's almost impossible for a big to do it. You know, a big is not one of the problems with Giannis is he's really a big. He needs another dude who's as good as him, but not a big to win. Embiid is a big who's doing everything. He's doing it all, and he has all those traditional big skills along with new age big skills. So far this year, if I had a vote for MVP, it would go to Joel Embiid.